Welcome to the Bible Quiz. Today, we will embark on an exciting journey to discover the wonder of the Bible. We have arranged 25 challenging questions to test your knowledge of miracles and sacred events in the Bible. Are you ready to prove how much you know about Bible miracles? But wait, before starting the quiz, make sure you hit the subscribe button and like this video. Your support helps us spread the message of Bible miracles. We are eager to hear from you and explore with you the world of biblical miracles. So are you ready for this journey? Let's begin. Question 1. A young girl gave birth to Jesus while still a virgin. What is her name in? A. Miriam. B. Mary. C. Martha. D. Magdalene. You get 10 seconds. That's B. Mary. According to the verses in Luke chapter 1, verses 26 to 38, Mary was the young virgin to whom the angel Gabriel prophesied that she would conceive and give birth to the Son who would be called Holy, Son of God. This message highlights the wonder and sacredness of creation and is one of the key events in Christian history about the birth of Christ. Question 2. One of the many recorded miracles involved 3 Jewish men who were thrown into a fiery furnace by King Nebuchadnezzar but survived. 2 of them were Shadrach and Meshach. What is the third man's name? A. Abednego. B. Abiathar. C. Abimelech. D. Ahinadab. You get 10 seconds. That's A. Abednego. According to the verse in Daniel chapter 3, verse 20, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, 3 Jews were put into the red fire when they refused to worship the king's image. The story is a miracle, as these 3 people were not harmed by the fire, demonstrating their courage and faith in facing religious challenges. Question 3. What was the name of the blind beggar who miraculously regained his sight after encountering Jesus at Jericho? A. Bariah. B. Barnabas. C. Bartimaeus. D. Bartholomew. You get 10 seconds. That's C. Bartimaeus. The name of the blind beggar who miraculously regained his sight after meeting Jesus in Jericho was Bartimaeus. This story is mentioned in Mark chapter 10, verses 46 to 52. Bartimaeus was known for his faith and perseverance in calling on Jesus for mercy and healing. Question 4. The first miracle Jesus performed was turning water into wine at a wedding feast. Where is the place where the miracle took place? A. Corinth. B. Cana. C. Carmel. D. Capernaum. You get 10 seconds. That's B. Cana. The place where Christ performed his first miracle, turning water into wine at a wedding, was at Cana. This is one of the famous events described in John chapter 2, verses 1 to 11. This event is considered a symbol of the power and love of Christ. Question 5. The Bible tells of Peter performing the miracle of raising a woman from the dead. What is the woman's name? A. Tabitha. B. Dinah. C. Darlene. D. Drusilla. You get 10 seconds. That's A. Tabitha. In Acts chapter 9, verses 36 to 42, Peter performed a miracle when he restored to life Tabitha, also known as Dorcas. This healing is one of the miraculous events described in the Bible and is considered a demonstration of God's power and the faith of Christians. Remember to hit that subscribe and join our community to stay updated on all the amazing content we have planned. Question 6. The prophet Elisha performed a miracle, causing a metal object to float on the Jordan River. What item is that? A. Gold. B. Spear. C. Shield. D. Axe head. You get 10 seconds. That's D. Axe head. The prophet Elisha caused a borrowed axe to float on the Jordan River, as recorded in 2 Kings chapter 6, verses 1 to 7 in the Bible. This miracle demonstrates Elisha's relationship with God and his supernatural abilities. Question 7. Jesus calmed the storm on 2 different occasions over the same sea, and his disciples acted as witnesses to the miracle. What is that sea area? A. Gosh. B. Golgotha. C. Galilee. D. Gethsemane. You get 10 seconds. That's C. Galilee. Christ calmed the storms on the Sea of Galilee 2 different times, and his disciples were witnesses to this miracle. These 2 stories described in Matthew chapter 8, verses 23 to 27, and Mark chapter 14, verses 22 to 32, are symbols of God's power over nature and at the same time demonstrate the disciples' faith in difficult situations. Question 8. A dying king miraculously lived another 15 years after he confessed his heart to God. What is the king's name? A. Hadad. B. Hezekiah. C. Herod. D. Hanok. You get 10 seconds. That's B. Hezekiah. In 2 Kings chapter 20, verses 1 to 4, King Hezekiah became sick and faced death. After he prayed and placed his devotion before God, God responded with a prophecy that he would live another 15 years. This event is considered a demonstration of Hezekiah's devotion and loyalty to God. Question 9. A woman whose back was bent and unable to stand up straight was miraculously healed by Jesus by placing his hands on her. After Jesus laid his hands on her, how long did it take for her to be cured? A. Immediately. B. 1 hour. C. 4 days. D. A few minutes. You get 10 seconds. That's A. Immediately. After Jesus laid his hands on her, she was immediately healed. This miracle of healing is recounted in Luke chapter 13, verses 10 to 13, highlighting the healing power of Jesus and the faith of people in suffering. Question 10. A Philippian prison guard prepares to commit suicide after a strange event occurs. What was that event? A. A fire swept through the prison and all the prisoners died. B. A tornado flattens the prison, allowing prisoners to escape. C. An angel of the Lord came and led all the prisoners out of the prison. D. An earthquake freed the prisoners from their chains. You get 10 seconds. That's D. An earthquake freed the prisoners from their chains. This event is recorded in the book of Acts, chapter 16, verses 25 to 34. The earthquake not only freed the prisoners, but also played an important role in converting the warden and his family. The story highlights God's power to intervene in difficult situations and bring unexpected results. Question 11. Jesus raised a man from the dead in Bethany, even though he had been dead for 4 days and his body was beginning to smell. What is that man's name? A. Levi. B. Luke. C. Lazarus. D. Lamech. You get 10 seconds. That's C. Lazarus, the man whom Christ brought back from the dead at Bethany, even though he had been dead for 4 days and his body had begun to give off an odor, was Lazarus. This miraculous event is recorded in John chapter 11, verses 1 to 44. The resurrection of Lazarus is considered one of the most important miracles performed by Christ, demonstrating his power in the face of death. Question 12. The prophet Elisha miraculously cured a Syrian army commander of leprosy. What was the man's name? A. Noah. B. Naaman. C. Naboth. D. Naphtali. You get 10 seconds. That's B. Naaman. The name of the commander of the Syrian army who was healed of leprosy by prophet Elisha was Naaman. This event is described in 2 Kings chapter 5, verses 1 to 14. Naaman's healing from leprosy was one of the outstanding miracles in the career of prophet Elisha, demonstrating the power of God and Naaman's faith. Question 13. One of the original 12 disciples miraculously healed a man who had been paralyzed since birth. What is the disciple's name? A. Peter. B. Paul. C. Philip. D. Phinehas. You get 10 seconds. That's A. Peter. In Acts chapter 3, verses 1 to 10, the story tells of Peter and John going into the temple of God, where they met a cripple. Peter speaks to the man at the beautiful gate, saying, "Silver and gold I do not have, but what I do have I give you. In the name of Jesus Christ of Nazareth, rise up and walk." The man is then healed through Peter's words. This is one of the outstanding miracles and demonstrates the power of God through the disciples. Question 14. Jehovah provided manna for the Israelites who wandered in the desert for 40 years after leaving Egypt. What kind of bird did Jehovah also provide for them? A. Eagles. B. Pigeons. C. Quail. D. Sparrows. You get 10 seconds. That's C. Quail. According to Numbers chapter 11, verses 31 to 32, Jehovah provided quails along with manna to satisfy the Israelites' hunger. This event is part of the story of God's provision for the Israelites during their journey through the desert. Question 15. What is the name of the woman who married Jacob and miraculously gave birth to Joseph by God's grace after being unable to conceive? A. Ruth. B. Rhonda. C. Rebecca. D. Rachel. You get 10 seconds. That's D. Rachel. In Genesis chapter 30, verse 22, Rachel's inability to conceive led to God's miraculous intervention, and she eventually gave birth to Joseph, who played an important role in biblical history. This story is a testament to God's faithfulness and ability to bring blessings in seemingly impossible situations. Question 16. Elisha, God's prophet, performed a moving miracle in Shunem. What is a miracle? A. Being fed by crows. B. Bringing a woman's son back to life. C. Blinding the Syrian army. D. Healed a man with leprosy. You get 10 seconds. That's B. Bringing a woman's son back to life. According to the verses in 2 Kings chapter 4, verses 8 to 37, the miracles of the prophet Elisha emphasize the supernatural and power of God, as well as the devotion and faith of the woman at Shunem. This miracle not only helped save the child's life, but was also a symbol of God's kindness and presence in daily life. Question 17. Where did Paul perform the miracle of raising Eutychus from the dead after he fell out of a third-story window and died? A. Tyre. B. Tarsus. C. Tiberias. D. Troas. You get 10 seconds. That's D. Troas. Paul performed the miracle of raising Eutychus from the dead in Troas. This event is recorded in Acts chapter 20, verses 7 to 12. Eutychus fell from a third-story window, and Paul, by the power of God, raised him back to life. This miracle at Troas emphasizes the divine power working through Paul and emphasizes the importance of miracles in the early Christian community. Question 18. A man is bitten by a poisonous snake while surviving a shipwreck. Miraculously, he did not suffer any ill effects from the bite. What is that man's name? A. Paul. B. Peter. C. Silas. D. Barnabas. You get 10 seconds. That's A. Paul. This event is described in Acts chapter 28, verses 1 to 6. Paul was on the island of Malta, and while he was gathering wood to make a fire, he was bitten by a poisonous snake. Although Paul was bitten by venom, he was not harmed, and this incident is often considered a miraculous demonstration of God's protection of him. Question 19. How many times did the Israelites march around the walls of Jericho on the day the wall miraculously fell? A. 5. B. 6. C. 7. D. 8. You get 10 seconds. That's C. 7. This event is recorded in the book of Joshua, chapter 6, verses 1 to 20, where, following God's instructions, the Jews marched around the city once a day for 6 days and then around the city 7 times on the 7th day. The fall of Jericho, paving the way for the Jews to capture the city, is a testament to the power of God and the loyalty of the Jewish people. Question 20. Jesus raises Jairus' daughter from the dead. How old is that little girl? A. 6 years old. B. 8 years old. C. 10 years old. D. 12 years old. You get 10 seconds. That's D. 12 years. The little girl Jesus raised from the dead was Jairus' daughter and was only 12 years old. This event is recorded in Mark chapter 5, verses 21 to 43. Jesus performed the miracle of raising Jairus' daughter from the dead. Question 21. An elderly man lost his voice because he refused to believe the angel's words that his wife Elizabeth would give birth to a son. He then miraculously regained his voice when his son was born. What is that man's name? A. Zacharias. B. Zedekiah. C. Zebediah. D. Zacchaeus. You get 10 seconds. That's A. Zacharias. According to the verses in Luke chapter 1, verses 5 to 25, Zacharias and his wife Elizabeth received the blessing when they had a son named John. Zacharias temporarily lost his voice because he did not believe the angel Gabriel's prophecy. His voice was restored after he confirmed the baby's name according to God's instructions. Question 22. At whose request did the sun and moon stop during the battle with the Amorites? A. Elijah. B. Joshua. C. David. D. Moses. You get 10 seconds. That's B. Joshua. This remarkable event is recorded in Joshua, chapter 10, verses 12 to 14. At Joshua's supplication, the sun and moon stopped in their battle with the Amorites, and God answered his prayer by causing the celestial bodies to pause in their motion, providing for the Israelites extended daylight to achieve victory in the battle against the Amorites. Question 23. What miracle did Moses perform when the people of Israel rebuked him for lacking drinking water as they passed through the wilderness of Sin and camped at Rephidim? A. Prayed for rain. B. Miraculously created a well. C. Tapped hidden water spring. D. Struck rock with rod for water. You get 10 seconds. That's D. Struck rock with rod for water. Responding to the people's complaints about the lack of water, Moses performed a miracle according to God's instructions, using a stick to strike the rock to make water flow out. This event, recounted in Exodus chapter 17, verses 1 to 7, demonstrates God's power and provision for the needs of the Israelites during their journey through the fields absent. Question 24. Who did what God told him to do, using a stick to turn the water of the Nile River into blood? A. Joshua. B. Moses. C. Aaron. D. Pharaoh. You get 10 seconds. That's C. Aaron. According to the story quoted in Exodus chapter 7, verses 14 to 25, this was one of the miracles that God performed through Aaron to challenge the power of Pharaoh in freeing the Jewish people from slavery in Egypt. Oh wow! What an extraordinary journey through the scriptures, testing your knowledge of remarkable miracles in the Bible. How did you do it? Whether you pass a test or discover new insights, always remember that God's Word is a timeless wonder waiting to be discovered. If you found this Bible miracle quiz interesting, please show your support by liking the video and sharing it with your friends and family. Invite them to join us on this captivating biblical expedition. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button for more trivia and insightful revelations about miracles in the Bible. We greatly appreciate your feedback, so please share your scores. Any questions or suggestions for future quizzes in the comments section. Thank you for being a part of our journey today, and may you be richly blessed on your spiritual path.